Coucou mes pieds, hello my loves, marhaba habibati. Okay, so I'm trying to film this again because the first time I filmed it I got really emotional, and then I actually went to see the play again, and then I tried to sit down and I got emotional again. So we are giving ourselves a day break from it and seeing. I wanted to film it like raw and uncut because I was so into it, but it was a babbling emotional mess. So I'm going to try to do this again. So today we're going to have another, and then I remembered the magic. And today I'm talking about the show that I saw just recently over the weekend called McQueen. So I saw it twice, and I'll tell you about that in a second. But it is not a biography or a biopic's a movie. It's not a biographical account of Alexander McQueen's life, but more kind of like a fairy tale, I think they call it. Like a fairy tale of his creative process, I guess. There's a bit of biographical whatnot in there, but it's a lot of fantasy and fairy tale and magic. And so I'm trying to think of where I would even want to start, but I think where I want to start is saying that I adored it enough that I saw it twice, 2 days in a row. And I highly recommend it. I really, really highly recommend it. And the tickets are reasonably priced, so it's not like you're gonna have to break the bank to go see it if you can. But it's okay. So I think I resonated with it so strongly because it meant personally a lot to me. Not that I was intimately familiar with his designs or that him as a person meant something to me, but his process reminds me of someone really close to me. His creativity, his yeah, just his process and his investment and his talent and his passion, all of that. And then the relationships he has with his mother is also a very special relationship that reminds me of one that is close to my heart. So yeah, I'm not going to give away too much because you guys know how I feel about there are things that I keep close to the heart in private, but it resonated with me on a personal level that might not necessarily resonate with everyone. And so I think that's why I connected so strongly. That being said though, it's a really lovely piece of theater that I think regardless you would enjoy, like whether or not you had that personal connection to it. So I just told you I was going to be all over the place. This is the only piece of anything. Like I don't bawl like this at movies. I don't bawl like this at theater ever before. It wasn't 1 or 2 tears, just like full on bawling. And like the first day with my sister, as we're leaving, I started crying again as I was retelling her the one line that made me cry when he's talking about his mother and how she used to bring sandwiches to his shows. How he would say, so this might be a spoiler, so I'm just putting that out there. He was telling the other character in the play how he would say his mother's name before going into big meetings when he first started out because it would give purpose to that conversation. Like it's just the little things like that. I don't know. It was just magical. Really, really magical. I think when a conversation or a word sometimes or a glance can make you tap into an emotion that's so raw and so pure that it makes you I literally had no idea why I was crying so hard, and as I would recall things the entire weekend afterwards I would start crying again, and it's because it taps into something that's so authentic and so pure and so raw that it really just it almost transcends. It's no longer about being in that moment in that theater with that actor, but it's about being connected to something and to a human emotion of loss and sadness that's kind of universal, and it's really, really beautiful. And so I think that is a testament to how strong of an actor Stephen Wright is. He was absolutely fantastic. For the first 15 minutes when you were allowed to get into the theater, but it hadn't started, he was actually pacing back and forth on the stage and like stayed in character. I was just looking at him like he's in character the whole time. People are chatting, people are opening, you know, food, and he's just, he's there. You see the pain on his face and he's there. He's pacing in front of you. So I just once wasn't enough, and I had to go back and I'm making no sense, but it's beautiful. It was beautifully moving. Yeah, there were parts of it that were a little bit cheesy maybe, or overly, not glazed over, but fantasized, made a little bit cleaner than they were. And I don't know, it almost made it more lovable. It was in a small theater and it had that like small community theater type of feel to it, which to me actually is really endearing. It doesn't have to be this huge over-the-top production. There were parts of it that were really cool. They had some projections, some screens moving back and forth with displays on them. There were some parts of the stage setup that had it, you know, moved up a level, but there was something to it, almost like a simplicity that made it seem that much more intimate. It was really fantastic. And the other thing that I found really cool is that they actually use music from his shows throughout the play. So it opens with a string quartet cover of Nirvana's Come As You Are. I'm gonna link a video, I'll find something and I'll put it down below. Like I don't think there's an official audio to it, so I'll find one of them and put them down below. But every time I hear the song, it evokes something very visceral in me now. Oh yeah, I've rambled on for 6.5 minutes. I don't know if I've really said anything. It was one of those nights where I left having had a cathartic cry. It helped me tap in to a sense of loss and fear that I think it's important not to forget, because you tend to forget them. And so it's nice to sort of feel that really intensely. But it also made me realize how important the now is. I have trouble focusing and appreciating on being in the moment. And the whole way home, all I could do was smile through, you know what I mean? Past the tears, and think about how much I was gonna be here now. Like, and literally just so it's been a couple of days where I've just sort of been like in the moment and living in it, and just so appreciative of what that means and what that is. So yeah, I really recommend it, you guys. The critics have not been a fan of it, but when has that ever stopped me? So if you can get a chance to go see it, go. And if not, I hope that you have things in your life, be it a play, be it a book, be it a picture, be it a song, whatever it may be, that make you feel like this. And so really my points of positivity are just this, are moments and nights and events and memories that make you feel all the emotions of the past, that have you appreciate the present and look optimistically and excitedly towards the future. So yeah, those are the three. But that's really all I wanted to share with you guys. I hope that the passion, the happiness, the emotion, the raw, authentic emotion of it all came across to you. And that's it. I just wanted to share this with you guys. So yeah, I'm gonna send you guys ever so much love. So much love. Hope that emotion is radiating through the camera. And I can never, as always, leave you without reminding you that life is just too short to wear boring lipstick. Bye guys.